want to present a new feature in NxtLib 1.1. NxtLib now comes with the functionality to locally sign any NXT transaction without ever having to transmit the secret phrase outside of your .NET application. This can be useful if you're developing an application that doesn't have access to a trusted NXT node. Instead, you can use any NXT node which has a public exposed API without ever fearing that your secret phrase will be stolen. A list of public nodes can be found here on the peerexplorer.com under the tab API. So let's pick the first one here and hope that it's alive, and use it to make an asset purchase with a locally signed transaction. So here's my secret phrase. Here's the asset that I'm planning to purchase. It's a Debunay decentralized business network, an asset that I'm a bit interested in, so let's buy one share of it. And let's type in the URI that we're going to use. I do not know the node operator here and I don't trust him, so I want to locally sign my transaction. Okie dokie. The first thing we need to do is to add NxtLib. You can do that by using NuGet or fetching the code from GitHub. That way you get the source version. This is a pre-compiled DLL. First step is to create an instance of the local crypto class. Local crypto has two functions: get public key and sign transaction. So what we want to do here in step 1 is to locally generate a public key from the secret phrase. Then we want to place an unsigned bid order using the public key. Then we want to locally sign that bid order, and last step is to broadcast the signed bid order. So let's get on with it. Get public key, and we pass in the secret phrase, and we get the public key in return. Step 1 is done. For the second step, we need the asset exchange service. Asset exchange service, and we're going to pass in the NXT URI variable. So we use the public node, and I'm going to create the QNT factor, and I'll explain it in a bit why I need it. Use the number of decimals. It's 4 decimals for the Debunay asset. And we need a create transaction parameter. Create transaction by public key. The deadline should be 1 day. Amount, the fee should be 1 next, and the public key, we use the one generated above. And lastly, we want to place the bid order. Unsigned bid order asset service dot place bid order. It takes the asset ID, Debunay asset ID. The quantity in QNT, here I'm going to use the QNT factor. I want to buy 1 share, and I'm going to multiply it with the QNT factor. Basically this will turn out to be 10,000 quants, and the amount I'm prepared to give is, let's see, 26.9 next per share. So that seems suitable. 26.9 divided by the Q&T factor. I need to cost it. There we go. And lastly, create transaction parameter. And we return the result. Okay, so what we're doing here is we are contacting the public node and we're placing a bid order using the public key. I don't trust this node owner, but with the public key he can't really do anything. So even if he saves everything that I send to him, he can't do anything about it with it. So step 3, locally sign the bid order. Signed bid order. I'm going to use the local crypto class again. Sign transaction. And it takes the unsigned bid order and the secret phrase. The last step, we're going to need the transaction service. And we're going to pass in the next URI. Broadcast result. Service broadcast transaction. It takes a transaction parameter which takes a J object, and the signed bid order is a J object. Yeah. And with a bit of luck this should work. Let's print out the transaction ID. Can examine what we have done. We get it down there. So let's start. That was fast. So from our secret phrase we get a public key that starts with 4 CFB. I've heard that one before. CFB. Let's see if it's correct. Yeah, 4 come from beyond. And our Q&T factor is 10,000, and we placed an unsigned bid order. Let's look at it at the transaction attachment, and we want to buy 10,000 quants using 0.00269 next per quant. And our signed bid order, actually we can look at it. Signed bid order to string. This is what we will send to the node. The transaction type, timestamp, deadline, my public key, the amount to send, 0 here. The fee is 1 next. This is the signature, and the price in next quants, quantity to buy, which asset, and some economic clustering info. So nothing harmful. So we have a transaction ID. Here we go. I bought 1 debonair with a price of 26.9 next. Cool. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.